If you want to do really well in the MCAT, make sure to watch this video because I figured out everything you need to know about the pentose phosphate pathway so you don't have to. So I get asked about this pathway all the time, but it's very simple. It takes place in the cytoplasm and it consists of two phases, the oxidative phase and the non-oxidative phase. So we'll start with the first one. The first thing to understand is that the goal of the oxidative phase is to produce a molecule called NADPH. And this molecule is super important in the cell because in cell membranes, it helps to reduce oxidative stress and prevent cell death. Furthermore, it's involved in synthesis of macromolecules, in other words, in all anabolic processes in the cell. For example, it's involved in the synthesis of DNA or lipids. So if you don't have NADPH, you're not going to have anabolic processes. Now, how is it produced? Well, in the oxidative phase, you have the substrate, which is glucose 6-phosphate. And ultimately, glucose 6-phosphate is converted into another molecule called ribulose 5-phosphate by the enzyme glucose 6-phosphate dehydrogenase, which is actually the rate-determining enzyme of the entire pathway. In the process, two molecules of NADPH are produced, thus supplying the cell with this very important molecule. And then we have the non-oxidative phase. And the substrate for this phase is going to be ribulose 5-phosphate, one of the products of the previous phase. Now, what's the purpose of this phase? Well, the idea is actually to supply the cell with different sugars depending on cellular needs. For example, if the cell has abundant energy and it wants to produce macromolecules and divide, then ribulose 5-phosphate will be converted into ribose 5-phosphate to be used in nucleotide and then DNA synthesis. If, on the other hand, the cell is in a catabolic state, it needs energy, ribulose 5-phosphate will ultimately be converted into glycolytic intermediates such as glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate or fructose 6-phosphate. And guys, that is literally all you need to know about this pathway for this exam. If you actually look it up, you'll see there's a ton of different enzymes. Do not waste your time memorizing them. It's unnecessary. If you want to learn more, please join our free live workshop on Thursday at 8 p.m. EST, 5 p.m. PST, and you can sign up for free in the link in the description. Also, please download our free 3-month study schedule.